What's up? What's up? Jump scare. Sorry, everybody. Who's in here? Who's in here so far? I don't know why this Twitch stream isn't working. For some reason, yeah, I meant to stream. That was on purpose. I was gonna like pop into the camera, but I don't know why all of a sudden I'm trying to figure out why my Twitch, it won't work. It's just saying an error occurred. I won't say why. Okay. I won't say why. Twitch won't work, but I'm trying to stream to both platforms at the same time. I should be able to do that, but for some reason it won't work right now. But anyway, how is everybody today? Who's in the stream? How is everyone? An error has occurred. Wait a moment and try again. Well, it doesn't tell me. Well, anyway, how is everyone? I should probably share my screen and go to like a procrastinating math homework. It's not a very hard thing to relate to. I can totally relate to that. Yeah, don't blame me at all. Math is not very fun, especially the harder it gets, obviously. Yeah, it's not something that you know, you're jumping to do. Okay. Yeah, strongly dislike. I like how you didn't say hate. But yeah, we got a very interesting day tomorrow. By the way, I'm gonna share this on the main channel. This stream. We go to YouTube, and then I'm gonna share this stream to my community post. But yeah, I mean, tomorrow's one of the more interesting days like we've ever had. It's very weird. Whoever wins, like first game, whoever wins the first game of tomorrow has to have the second. The D-backs have to have that team win again. So the D-backs have to have a sweep happen tomorrow in the doubleheader. Whether it's the Mets or the Braves, it doesn't matter. So the Mets and Braves are playing a 2-game doubleheader, and if both teams win a game tomorrow and they split, they both make it, and the D-backs, who are not even playing, miss out. But if the Braves sweep the Mets are done, and the D-backs make it. If the Mets sweep the Braves are done, Mets are in, D-backs are in. Or no, wait, yeah, D-backs are in. So the D-backs need a sweep. D-backs need a sweep, and all the Braves and all the Mets need is just a single win. The Braves had their chance today to clinch, but the Royals, I mean, hats off to them. They would have been swept, so they avoided a sweep. And I honestly have no idea what's going to happen. This year has been so weird. Like, I thought the Mets were locking it up, same with the D-backs. All of a sudden, it's down to 1 day. And then the Braves, I thought they were probably just going to miss, and they're in it now. Like, they were a win away today from making it. So I don't know. I honestly hope the D-backs make it. I've kind of been on their train for a while. I like them, so I guess I hope there's a sweep tomorrow. And I'm gonna, man, what's the word? Help, like I don't know what to pick. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm very, it's a tough situation. It's a tough thing for me to think about because with the Braves, I don't want the Braves to make the postseason just to like lose quickly or lose the freaking Phillies again. I would hate that. I would rather them miss entirely and then just like let's go for 2025 because they don't have Acuna. They don't have half their team. So it's like okay, I mean if the Braves make it cool, I guess, but unless they go on some run, who cares? I don't know if that's the right way to look at it, but I don't really like like the only way I would really want like the Braves in a normal scenario, but this isn't normal at all. Half of their freaking team is gone, so I don't really know what to think. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely want the D-backs in. So I guess I don't really care. I guess I may be pulling for the Braves a little bit more, just because I've always had a soft spot for them, just in general, over the Mets or the Phillies. But I wouldn't hate the Mets making it because I do think the Mets. It'd be interesting to see them take on the Phillies potentially. I'm just thinking this in terms of like the Phillies. Who can take down the freaking Phillies? We already saw Arizona do it last year, and I think they could do it again. Why not? Um, but if not them, maybe the Mets. That could be fun. So I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. I don't know. I have no idea what's gonna happen though. Yeah, it's yeah, it'll be an interesting day. I don't really know what to make of it. Like it's so weird. Like the D-backs need somebody to sweep. Doesn't matter who. Just one of the teams need to win both games. So like the first game, it's like weird. Like the first game doesn't even really like obviously it matters, but it doesn't really matter at the same time for the D-backs. All that matters is the second game to root for whoever the won the first game to win the second game. So if the Braves win the for game one, D-backs fans are going to be big Braves fans. If the Mets win game one, D-backs fans are big Mets fans. Such weird scenario. Yeah, the D-backs. I didn't realize how much they kind of been choking lately. I didn't realize they were not such a lock to make it. But I guess the Braves. I mean, they've been hanging in there all year despite everything. And then yeah, the Mets obviously doing what the Mets have been doing. Yeah, as a Padres fan, yeah, I'm sure it'll be just like yeah, as a fan of any other team from the Braves, Mets, and D-backs, it'll be fun. It'll be interesting. Very interesting. Because so yeah, that'll be because whoever wins. So the second game is going to be really what's interesting because the first game it doesn't matter whether the Braves or the Mets win. We know for sure that the second game is going to be the game that decide everything. So it'll decide that either the two teams on the field make it or just one of them makes it, and then the D-backs succeed. So yeah, I mean, whoever loses the first game, their season will be down to their last game, and then the D-backs will be hoping that it ends for them, for the Mets or Braves. So it'll be fun. I'm excited, honestly. I haven't really. It's just been such a weird. Like, it's never been a. It's a weird scenario, and I guess I'm happy that it's happened though because we get a day of baseball because we wouldn't have got nothing tomorrow. Because the whole reason this is even happening is because of a rainout, that happened in the middle of last week. They're just like, all right, we're going to have these two games be played if they're necessary, and they're very necessary. So they're going to be played, basically playoff games tomorrow, 2 playoff games. Again, especially the last one. Like whoever wins the first one, like obviously that's important because then you clinch, you're in. So yeah, I mean it'll be nice to get that one out of the way, and then the second game will be stress free for whoever wins that first game. And the second game, whether it's the Mets or the Braves, they're gonna lose. They don't win that first game. You think my stream is using the wrong mic? Hold on. You're right.
You're right. My bad. I don't know why. Yeah, this is. It always messes up like the mic. It always. My bad. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. It always gets the computer audio rather than the. And then I don't even know. Yeah, I know. It sounds way nicer now, right? I even freaking realized this whole time. It's been sounding like I'm in a fishbowl or something. Not anymore. So, the Mets, Braves. Let me ask you guys, who do you want to I guess what do you want to happen / what do you think will happen tomorrow? Do you want the D-backs in? You want the Braves in? You want the Mets in? Who do you not want in? Personally, for me, I guess I kind of want the D-backs in. So that would mean I want someone to sweep tomorrow, whether it's the Mets or the Braves. If the Braves had like Acuna, I would, and Strider and their actual fun. Yeah, for real. Thank you, Matthew, for pointing that out. Everyone else thought it was normal, I guess. No, I know the D-backs they're dangerous. They're definitely a dangerous team. I think they're the most I think the odds are pretty high. The only thing is, obviously, whoever wins that first game, they're going to be, set for the rest. Like, they're in the playoffs, so they don't have to stress anymore for the day. So it's like, that might give an advantage. Like, say the Braves win game 1. Okay, we're a playoff team now. All right, let's go. Woof. Yay. Okay, the second game, they're not going to be, honed in, really. So that might give an advantage to the Mets. And maybe the Mets will just feed, they'll just, play really hard. The Braves are already in. So they're not going to not try, but they're not going to be, all in like the Mets would be. So I don't know. I could see that side of that mental thing kind of happening, but either way, I mean, I don't think the Braves or the Mets, whoever wins the first game, is gonna phone it in for the second game, especially considering that these are division rivals. I think the Mets would have a lot of fun eliminating the Braves and vice versa. I don't really think either one of them are oh, we got to keep the D-backs out, so let's help each other out. No, I think the Braves would love to just sweep the Mets, say, screw you, get out of here, and vice versa. I don't think so. I don't know. I just, yeah, D-backs are the scary one for sure. So I don't really know. We'll see what happens. That actually is interesting though. I do wonder what that vibe will kind of be like for the winning team in the second game, because they're obviously not going to treat it like it's a playoff game. Whoever wins the first game won't treat the second game like it's that important. They can't, because they have actual important games on starting Tuesday, the playoffs. So you have to have your guys rested, so they got to have their starting. They might just give the guy, most of their guys, the night off, the nightcap off, meaning whoever loses the first game will have a much bigger advantage. But then again, it is baseball, so you can't really count on that to predict who wins. But at the same time, yes, I don't know. I really do wonder how that's going to work out. if one of the teams will, if whoever wins the first game will kind of phone it in terms of like, okay, we're not going to really like use our best guys or take it that seriously because we're in. Why do we need to put that much effort and risk, not being able to use a reliever for a playoff game that's tomorrow or, like the next day or whatever. So I don't know. I mean, by the way, okay, Schwellenbach pitches game 1. But here's the thing. Oh, so you're saying so if they lose, Chris Sale pitches game 2. But what if they win? Then who gets game 2? So Sale's not going to pitch if they win, which would make sense, right? Because he should be going to the playoffs. Obviously, yeah, he's not going to pitch game 2. Yeah, no, they're going to save him for the freaking playoff game. So that they just clinched. So if the Braves, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, it doesn't mean the Mets will just have an easy win in game 2, but like if the Braves won game 1 and they take Sale out for the second game, and vice versa, like Severino not pitching game 2, so the Braves have an easier shot. I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting. I guess whoever does lose game 1 will definitely have a softer team going up against them than the first game. And then, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Fair guess Mets. That's a very good guess. I would honestly guess that too. That's probably my prediction. I really do want the D-backs in, but I honestly could see that happening. I think the Braves come up big game 1, crowd goes nuts, they come through, they clinch. Everyone's happy, and the Mets then come back and win the second game. And then literally everybody's happy, and everyone leaves Atlanta in the playoffs. What happens to the wild card in all scenarios? What do you mean? What does that mean? What happens to the Yeah, what do you mean? Yeah, I honestly think I think the Braves are going to use the momentum of the first game being home and win, and then the Mets will just take the second game. So, okay, if someone sweeps, that team that sweeps and the D-backs will be in the playoffs. So if the Braves win both games tomorrow, them and the D-backs are in. The Mets win both games tomorrow, them and the D-backs are in. If the Mets and Braves both win a game tomorrow, they're in, and the D-backs are done. So the D-backs need to win today. They won. They did their thing today, but they should have. They've been kind of struggling lately. Yeah, it's been tough. But yeah, Paul Sewald kind of fell off a cliff, didn't he? Holy crap! That was not. I hope. I don't know. I don't really know what I want. I don't know if I really want anything. I think I'm just gonna be having fun watching it because I don't really like. I'm not. I kind of am. I'm okay with any of these teams making it, whether it's the Braves, Mets, or D-backs. So I guess I'm just thinking about it in terms of who I think could go the furthest of the three. And whoever I think could do that, I would like to definitely see make it. So, like the Braves, I don't know. I don't really know if I want to I don't know. I'm not. How can you trust them? I mean, they don't have half of their freaking team. Even when they had their best team ever, they couldn't beat the Phillies. So what the hell? What are they gonna do? You don't want to see the Mets make it? So who are the Padres going to play? Hold on. I want to actually, let's go to the let's see. Man, tomorrow will be a very interesting day for the D-backs players. Okay. Where's the playoff bracket? Where can I see that? All right. So let's go to the AL really quick, since we don't fully know the NL yet. All right. So who do we think? What are we thinking? I'm gonna be straight up honest with you guys. I'm gonna be straight up honest with what I want. I don't want Houston moving on. I hope they don't win a single game. If you're a Houston fan, no offense. I'm tired of your team. I don't care. I don't want to see them move on. Royals, Orioles, I honestly could care less. Not in a sense where I'm not interested. I am very interested. I'm going to be watching. It'll be fun. But I'm not like rooting for one or the other hard. I'm just going to be kind of enjoying whatever happens. I think I'll predict the Orioles to win that series. I think it'll happen in 3 games, though. I can see the Orioles winning game 1. Here's my prediction. I can see the Orioles winning game 1, Royals take game 2, and then Orioles win game 3. I don't know if they'll. I mean, they could sweep them for sure, but I think the Royals will make it a little interesting. But I think the Orioles will eventually just come out on top, because I think the Orioles, like, this is their. I feel like they're supposed to be taking a step forward. And look, baseball, we never know what the hell's going to happen. They can miss this year and then never make it again. The playoffs. They can lose the series, and then, it's not straightforward ever. But if the Orioles, like, I think they'll just move. I think they're gonna win. I don't think the Royals will just get smoked, but I think they'll win, the Orioles. And then I actually do think that the Yankees, I could see them going to. Okay, I honestly think the Yankees are gonna might go to the World Series. I could see the Yankees beating. And by the way, since this is like a smaller stream, it's a little more like intimate. I guess I'll be like as personal as absolute possible, because sometimes I don't want to like talk about who I like or like what teams or whatever. Because if you're gonna be like, oh, you're biased, but it's like, okay, yeah, we're all biased. We all like teams. We all hope other teams win and other teams lose. That's the whole point of this. I'm not some like unbiased person. No, I am biased to an extent. I'm not going to be like, oh, the Red Sox are the best. I'm a Red Sox fan. I'm not going to be like, oh, the Red Sox are the best. No, they suck. Or they're mid, at least. But they missed the playoffs. So, like, that would be, like, dumb to say. But I guess the reason I'm saying this is because I want to make it clear I'm a Red Sox fan. And I guess since it's like a smaller stream, I just feel more comfortable just kind of like talking about, who I like and whatever, because we're all fans of teams. Like, I don't know why it's a big deal to be biased. I mean, to an extent, if you're just like saying your team all the time, it's like, okay. But like, like, I'm biased, but to a logical extent. Like, I'm not going to be like the Red Sox are the best team. No, they're not. But I do hope they win the World Series every year. Am I not supposed to hope for that? But okay, so I'm a Red Sox fan, but I actually do think the Yankees are probably going to go to the World Series this year. It would be, as a Red Sox fan, it'd be funny to see that not happen. But I think the reason I say this is because I feel like there's been a lot of, like, obviously the Yankees they've made a like a reputation the last 15 freaking years of just doing nothing in the playoffs. They haven't even gotten to the World Series. And for the Yankees, that's a big deal. They're supposed to win the World Series, let alone make it, and they haven't even done that. So I think they've been blowing it every year, right? They're losing to the Red Sox, they lose to Houston, they lose the freaking Rays or whoever. So I think what's going to happen is, yeah, I could see. So I think what's going to happen is we're all kind of thinking, oh, yeah, I mean, Judge is great and Soto, but are they really like? Do they got it all? Do they to make it all the way? And I honestly think they probably do. And I think it's kind of like a thing that'll shock us, right? Like we're not really expecting it. Like the Yankees don't scream, but here's the thing though: nobody screams as a team that's gonna steamroll the World Series. Not even the Dodgers, because their pitching is all effed up with the injuries. So with the Yankees, like I mean, the Tigers can make the World Series at this point. I mean, it's not that it wouldn't be shocking; it would be, but like it's so open ended this year. Um, But for the Yankees, I just feel like they're finally gonna at least make the World Series. I'm not saying they'll win it, but I think they'll at least make it this year. I actually can see that happening. Um, I could see them making it and then losing and then having like being like, all right, we gotta re-sign Soto, we gotta keep him, we can't go backwards now. We were almost there. We gotta do it, I could kind of have that. I could see that like happening. So I don't want to see the Yankees. I would say I think it would be really fun to see the Yankees and Dodgers play in the world. Can you imagine? MLB would be nutting all over the place, but so would we. Let's be real. We're fans of baseball. Who doesn't want to see Aaron Judge play against Shohei Ohtani? I know Ohtani probably won't be pitching, which stinks, but like, I mean, the ratings to that would be asked like impeccable. The games would be fun. You have two of the, biggest fan bases on each coast. Like it'd be insane. The literal two best players in the game. I mean, everything about that, and then Juan Soto too. Can't forget about him. But yeah, everything about that series would be wild. No, I know that. I know Ohtani might pitch, but it's not really that likely. And if he did, it would only be like at a relief role, which should be. I mean, I would still be good enough. He could still face Judge like late in the game or something. Imagine Game 7 of the World Series, Ohtani comes out in the 8th inning, faces Judge, and that would be freaking crazy. After not pitching all year, just hitting, now he's a two-way player again. That'd be a story. I think my prediction for the World Series, I think just based off what I'm looking at right now, based off just my raw thoughts, not is Yankees Phillies, and it's not at all the World Series that I want to see, but it's the World Series that I feel like is right now in my mind is like, yeah, I could see that happening. It's the one I could most like see happening. Match. And then I think the Philly, I don't know actually who would win that one. I can't say the Phillies would just win because maybe they would lose. Even though they've been so close last couple of years, you would think third time's a charm, but maybe not. Maybe the Yankees would win it. So I could see, yeah, that's like my raw prediction immediately. Like no matter who even wins the wild card or whatever, I think Phillies will go to the World Series and then they'll play the Yankees. That's what I think right this second. But what I want to see would be, I would like to see Detroit beat Houston. Either or, I think the Orioles would win, so I'll just say they move on. So Orioles are here. Detroit's here. We got an AL Central showdown and an AL East showdown. That'd be cool. We got two in-division showdowns for the first round based off what I want to see. This isn't. And then I love Cleveland. I love their energy. I just love everything about that team for real. Like they seem like such good vibes. Just I mean they have not skipped a beat. Terry Francona left, and that sucked. I really thought that would maybe be the end of an era, and it is. But like Vogt has just come right in and just been amazing in his own way. As the new manager, Jose Ramirez. Just what else? What else do you want from the dude? future Hall of Famer, Josh Naylor, love the dude. They just have such like a fun team, fun vibes. So I love Cleveland. I'd like to see them go to the ALCS. So I'd like to. They have a bye, so I'd like to see them beat either freaking Houston moves on. They better Cleveland better whoop Houston's ass. But if Detroit moves on, I'd still like to see Cleveland win. I know Detroit's such like an underdog story, but I still like Cleveland, and I feel like I want to see them win. So let's say Cleveland goes to the ALCS, Yankees beat Orioles. I would like to see Cleveland go to the World Series. I feel like they're probably the team, now that I'm really looking at it, they're probably the team I want most to see out of the AL in the World Series. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I would like to see Cleveland in. I want to see them in the World Series again. I like their team a lot. I want to see Clase. That dude's freaking disgusting. He's fun to watch. So I want to see him. I want to see them go to the World Series. As for the NL, it's all screwed up right now because we don't really know who's exactly will be playing who yet. But let's say I don't think the Padres are going to go one and done. I just don't see that happening. So I see the Padres, whoever they play, whether it's the Braves or the Mets or the D-backs, they're going to move on, play Dodgers. Brewers, they won their division last year, and they're in the same spot last year. They won their division, but were the 3 seed, so they had to play the wild card series. Played the number 6 seed, who were the D-backs, that could happen again, and then they lost. Will that happen again? That would be insane if it did, and it would be so stupid. Like, after all this, I mean, they've had such a successful year after all the drama that went into this year beforehand. Their manager leaving to the Cubs, Corbin Burns, and then they're really good. It's been fun. Just to lose in the first round again, I don't know if I see that happening. Like, it made sense last year, but again, like, there's no way. Come on. So I could see them beating. Man, if they played the D-backs again, I don't know. I could see the D-backs doing it again. But I don't know if it wouldn't be a sweep this time, though. I could see the D-backs winning it again, but it would be like in 3 games, be close to the end. It wouldn't be like a straight sweep. But either way, man, I don't know. I just hope whoever goes to the NLCS in this slot beats the Phillies. But I will say this. So, okay, again, this is the fan out of me coming out. I don't want to see. Here's who I don't want to see go far in the playoffs, because these are the teams I just prefer not to see anymore because I'm sick of them. Houston, Philly, and New York. I'm sick of those teams. I don't want to see their faces anymore. Get off my TV. So I hope Houston doesn't win a single game against Detroit. I hope Philly gets swept in the freaking first round. Same with New York. That's really harsh. I know. But I did just say the Yankees I think they're going to go to the World Series. But I don't want them to. And neither, especially, you know what's crazy? I'm a Red Sox fan. So naturally, yeah. I'll be doing videos, obviously. Naturally, I should not want the Yankees, right, to make it. And I don't. Obviously, I don't. But, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't hate that team. I don't really hate them that much. I mean, like, I like Soto a lot. I hated when he went there because I loved him so much, and I don't want him on the freaking Yankees. Same with Jazz Chisholm. Like, who doesn't want to see Juan Soto and Jazz Chisholm on the freaking playoffs? If those 2 guys were on any other team, oh my God, I'd be so happy rooting for them. But they're on the freaking Yankees, so I can't. But there's just something, I guess, that, like, looking at that is more exciting, even though they're the Yankees, and I obviously don't hope they win the World Series. But looking at them, I'd rather see them go a little further than Philly or Houston. Houston, like, I mean, I'm so freaking tired of them. They've made 7 straight ALCSs. They lost last year to the Rangers, the team that went on to win the freaking World Series. So that's it. I don't care. Like, you lost to the Rangers. You're no longer the Texas team that deserves more love. I mean, you are, because you've won more. But head to head, your Rangers beat you. They took you down. So, and then this year, Houston was just so, like, I mean, what the hell? The only reason they won that freaking division, which I'm not going to say that they don't deserve the division. They do. Absolutely, they do. Of course. But it's so boring. The only reason they won is because every freaking team in the NL West and the AL West, sorry, was crap. The Mariners were so bad. They had a 10-game lead on Houston. 10 games. And Houston, like, it's not like they went on some wild run. They only won, 87 games this year? So they only won because Mariners were just like so. I mean, they were begging the Mariners to win the division this year. The whole division was. Oakland obviously was not going to win it. Houston, freaking the Angels obviously not going to win it. Who's the third team? Oh, the Rangers. They were even like, all right, we got our World Series. We'll take a year off. This is your time, Seattle, and even Houston. Yep, Seattle, you got this. This is your year. I mean, they were all begging the Mariners to win that division by like 5 games at least this year. And the Mariners are like, nah, we're just gonna like be like the most dumb, we're the most like the worst offense ever. Nah, we're not gonna win. We're gonna waste all of our amazing pitching. We have the best pitching in baseball, but we're gonna have the worst hitting at the same time. Not a great strategy. So after everyone was begging the Mariners to win the division, even Houston, the Mariners said nah. So the Houston was like, all right, crap, shit. I guess we'll take the division again. That's why I'm especially this year, I'm tired of Houston. If Houston had won like 100 games, if they, out the gate were a little more hot and were more exciting, like the Houston teams that we've seen in past years, I'd be more like, okay, like obviously I don't love this team. I'm a little tired of them, but at least like they're still showing that they're dominant. And I'm like, okay, I can get behind that. I can get behind like the continuation of these division wins and ALCS appearances because they're so good. But this year they weren't even that great. I mean, they had amazing pitching. That's really what helped them a lot. Like Ronel Blanco, yeah, this Astros. This is just becoming a shitting on Astros stream. The Ronel Blanco, right? Who saw him doing what he's done this year? It's amazing. Framber Valdez was great. I mean, the whole pitching staff really was great. Even like Spencer Arrighetti, he started off like shit. Then he was amazing. So like, I'm not saying like Houston obviously deserved their division, but the way they won it was just so boring. It was only because like nobody else in the division wanted anything to do with winning it. Like everyone else in that division was like, we're done. See ya. We're not interested. And Houston's like, no, guys, like, we're not actually like as great this year. So, Seattle, if you want it, the Rangers, you guys just won the World Series, you can have it if you want, I mean, we're not as good. And Rangers were like, we're good. Mariners were like, couldn't be more happy with not winning the division. So Houston's just like, shit, all right, guess we'll take it. And that's why to me it's like, I don't like, I'm tired of them. There's nothing exciting about them this year. So that's really, it's interesting. I haven't really fully like explained my thoughts on this out loud. But I think that's what it is. Like it's funny because if the Astros were even better, I'd be able to like back them more. I'd be behind them more. But the way they won it this year was just so boring. And I'm just like, I'm already like, okay, you've been to so many ALCSs in a row. You have to, I mean, like the Tigers, they did what they did this year. And it's exciting because they haven't made the playoffs in 10 years. And their whole story is just different. But when you made 7 straight ALCSs, you've won 7 straight divisions, basically. And then you win it just because everyone else in your division just checked out and we're like, we don't care. We are happy to not win it. That's boring. I don't want to see that team do anything. So I honestly, honest to God, it has nothing even to do with like the cheating or anything like that. I wanted Houston to win in 2022. I wanted them to win that year. I was pulling for them hard against the Phillies because I wanted them to finally just put the any argument to bed that they can't win without cheating. They always could win without cheating, which is partly why it's so frustrating because they always had the ability to win without that, but they just did it, and then it ruined their whole freaking legacy from in 2017. They could have just not cheated that year, and they still could have won. They were great. There's a reason why Carlos Correa and George Springer and Bregman and Altuve are still good players because they don't need a freaking trash can. Altuve didn't even use it, but point still stands. So I guess what I'm saying is, I'm just like nobody in the West was good this year. Really, was that great or interesting? The Mariners had the perfect opportunity to finally be like, all right, we're going to win the division with ease, and they didn't at all. Like, it was crazy. So Houston was just like, all right, we'll take another division. And I don't, that's just not a fun enough story for me, especially when they've already won, so they're already like not underdogs. And on top of that, they're just such a boring division winning team this year because nobody else cared to put in any effort, basically. So I hope Houston, and to sum it up, I hope Houston die. I'm just kidding. I hope Houston doesn't win a single game. I hope Detroit just ends them within like the first 5 minutes. And yeah, he did. There's like apparently he like tried to smash AJ Hinch tried to like smash the monitors or whatever. But yeah. So I hope Detroit, embarrasses Houston. Just get the hell out of here. You don't belong here. And then I hope Cleveland wins. I like Detroit, but I just prefer Cleveland. I like Cleveland. I want to see them in the World Series. So what I think will happen is Yankees Phillies. What I want to happen is Cleveland and San Diego or something. But you know what's funny? It's interesting because like if every team that I didn't want to win lost immediately, it would make the rest of the playoffs not as intriguing. So for example, I shouldn't be rooting for the Phillies to lose immediately. Houston, I actually really want to I don't want to see them at all. But like in terms of like the Yankees and Phillies, who I don't want to see go far, I should be okay with that. Like I should be okay with the Phillies winning the first round because I think it would be fun, like a fun NLCS to root for. Because like last year, when it was Rangers and D-backs, the teams that I wanted to win the ALCS and NLCS, we all realize it's like, oh wait, well, they beat the teams that were more popular. So it's not as intriguing of a series because you don't really care who wins, and then the ratings were down naturally because of that. So like I wanted the Rangers to beat Houston and I wanted the D-backs to beat the Phillies, and both things happened. And then I realized, wait a minute, both teams that I wanted to win are not playing each other. So I'm kind of like happy for each team. I don't really I'm not really like stressed watching this. So it was like, like the World Series last year would have been a lot more. I would have been so much more into it if it was Rangers, Phillies. Oh my God, I would have been the biggest Rangers fan on the planet, rooting for them to beat the Phillies. But the Phillies lost to Arizona, and same vice versa. The Phillies won and played Houston and played the Rangers. If the D-backs won, I'm stupid, and played Houston, I'd be the biggest Arizona fan, rooting for them. Yeah, no, you know what? Let's just end the season and declare the White Sox the winners. Let's just do that. They won they're on a 2-game winning streak. They ended the year with 2 games, so let's just. So if Arizona won last year, but the Rangers didn't, so it was them in Houston, but it's like, the Rangers and D-backs, like they were both teams that you can't really hate, at least for me and a lot of other people. You can't really hate them, so it was like, oh, okay, I don't really, not really that invested because whoever wins, I'm okay with. So I should be okay with the Phillies and Yankees, not losing immediately, even though I would like them to at the same time because, for example, and the reason I'm talking about this is because I just said I'd like Cleveland to make the World Series, and I'd like to see them face the Padres or something, or the Dodgers. That would be interesting, the Dodgers. But if they played like the Padres, it was the Guardians and Padres. That's those are two teams that I would be okay with either one of them winning it. So I'm not going to be as invested in a sense where I'm like at the edge of my seat. I mean, I would be if it's a good game and whatever, but I'm not going to be like, oh man, I really, because obviously it's more fun and more, you're more invested when there's a team that you really, really, really don't want to see win. Because I'm a Red Sox fan. We didn't make the freaking playoffs this year. I'm a Red Sox fan. I just actually, it's funny because I just said that as Man of Jack asked, and I didn't even know he was asking until after I said. Anyway, I'm a Red Sox fan. God, my throat. Anyway, I'm a Red Sox fan. We're not in the playoffs because we're not a good team. But there's still teams that you really don't want to see. So it's almost like you still look, nothing's getting that gets me as stressed than watching the Red Sox in the playoffs, obviously. But sometimes your hate for another team will make you, maybe not as much as if your team is in it, but it'll still make you nervous watching them because you want to see them lose so bad. So it's like the opposite. So if the Red Sox are in the playoffs, I'm nervous because it's my team and I want to see them win. But if they're not, like this year, say the Yankees, right? See, I'm so invested in seeing them lose. I'm going to be very nervous and invested in their games. So if they lose immediately and it's like the ALCS is the Orioles and Tigers or the Orioles in Cleveland, it's like, okay, those are two teams that I would be okay with winning. So I'm not going to be as like, oh my God, into it, So I guess I should probably want, I should want one of my teams that I don't want to go far. But then I'd, of course, want to see them lose in the end. No, I don't hate the Orioles, actually. Good question. That's a good question. I don't, though. No. I don't hate the Orioles. Not this year, at least. They're not really a hateable team to me. I like their play. I mean, there's really nothing to hate about them. You hate everyone in the AL East other than the Yankees? I assume you're not a Red Sox fan. I would say, would this be a guilty pleasure? Could this fall under a guilty pleasure if I wanted the Phillies and Dodgers to play in the NLCS? I feel like that'd be really fun. That would be really fun. And I'd want to see the Dodgers win. If the Dodgers played the Phillies. So it's interesting because a lot of you might be wondering, none of you have made this point yet, but I'm just going to naturally think about it because, it's it relates to what I'm talking about. Because I keep saying I'm tired of Houston. I'm tired of Philly. I don't want to see the Yankees. And I haven't shown any hate toward the Dodgers. And a lot of people might be like, wait a minute. Well, the Dodgers make it every freaking year. Why aren't you tired of them? Because I like the Dodgers. I don't hate I don't like I don't hate the Dodgers at all. And it's really funny because if you guys look at my videos, maybe some of you are even guilty of this, but there's only, there's only so many of you in here right now. But on videos, like I get accused all the time of being either a Dodger lover or a Dodger hater and a Padres fan or whatever. And it's funny because it just, I guess that means I'm doing a good job because if in terms of like being unbiased, because nobody even knows who I'm rooting for. Like seriously, I'll talk about the Dodgers and everyone's like, you hate the Dodgers, screw you. And then the other side will be like, you're a Dodgers jerk off. All you just love that team. Go Padres. I'm like, wait, what? The truth is, I don't really go for one team more so in the NL West, which is interesting. I like oh my God, my freaking throat. I like the Dodgers. I like the D-backs. I like the Padres. I like the Giants. Hell, if the freaking Rockies decided to, be good for the first time, in the history of the world, I'd be okay with them too. I like them. They'd be cool. So there's no one in the NL West. And again, it's funny because it's like usually if you like the Dodgers, you hate the Padres and the Giants. If you like the Giants, you hate the Dodgers, or you hate the you like the Padres, you hate the Dodgers. But I actually don't. I mean, again, I'm not like a fan of any of those teams, so it's not as personal to me. I mean, I'm a Red Sox fan. I couldn't be farther from a fan of any of the California teams or Arizona, but um I don't hate any of these, any of them. So I like the Dodgers a lot, especially I've always been okay with the Dodgers, even though but especially since they've gotten like Mookie Betts, who of course Red Sox legend. I love him, so I've always loved. That's just given me yet another reason to like the Dodgers. Um, Kershaw, how can you freaking hate Clayton Kershaw? I mean, how can you hate that guy? Hall of Famer, one of the best pitchers, maybe the best ever. I love the guy. Like I just don't really think there's a lot on Freddie Freeman, Shohei freaking Otani. I mean, I'm talking about like the Dodgers in general, but especially this year. How can you hate the guys that are on this team? I mean, like what? If you're the Padres fan, I get it. Okay, yeah, you can hate them. But just in a general sense, I don't know why anyone would hate the Dodgers because they spend money. Okay, well, I mean, it's not even really working out for them. If they win the World Series, it won't be because they spent money. I mean, half the guys they spend money on are not going to be playing. So, I don't know. I mean, I'd rather teams spend money than not. So, yeah, I mean, I like the Dodgers. I've always liked them. Even before, like 10 years ago, I was like, yeah, the Dodgers are cool. I've never like hated them. I think they're cool. I like their colors. Their stadium's kind of cool. They're good history. So yes, yeah, as a Padres fan, you can hate the Dodgers. Obviously, that doesn't need any explaining, but yeah, I mean, Shohei Otani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Clayton Kershaw, those are all lovable guys. Brewers, I haven't talked about them yet. I'll get to them in a second, but as for the NL West, yeah, I don't really hate it. So like, I would love, but anyway, so that's basically what I guess that was my whole another way of saying I like the Dodgers. I would like to see them win if they played the Phillies, in the NLCS. I'd be rooting hard for them. I do think the Dodgers need a freaking ring. I don't count 2020. I don't give a crap about 2020. And everyone always says, "Oh, well, if the Red Sox won, you wouldn't." No, I wouldn't have. I would have been like, "Okay, it was a fun little year, but I don't give a crap about it compared to every other real season." And I've always said it has not. People always make it about the Dodgers. If I was a Dodgers fan, I would be pissed that the only championship we have since 1988 was in a year where nobody could go in the stands. Everyone was wearing a mask. It was 60 games. Like, what are we doing? How is that real? That's not a real season. They were the best team that year. I've never denied that, obviously. But if the Reds were the best team that year, if the Marlins were the best team that year, it doesn't matter. 2020 doesn't friggin' matter. I don't care about 2020. So when I look at the Dodgers, I want to see them win an actual, real 162 regular season win. I want to see them win an actual ring. I want to see Kershaw. I want to see Mookie. I want to see all those guys holding up the trophy after a real season, not a fake one. So call me whatever you want. That's not anti-Dodgers. That's just anti-2020, I guess. 2020 was a shitty year, and it just ended up being crappy for everyone because whoever won that year would have been in the same conversation. If the Rockies won in 2020, I'd be saying the same thing about them. I'd say, well, it was a fun little run, but who gives a crap? It means nothing compared to any other ring. Like, yes, the Dodgers did what they did, and it was great. It was fun, but they need to win an actual ring. I mean, how are you going to have a World Series and not have a parade? Nobody watched it. You won it in Texas, but you were playing the Rays. 25% of the fans were allowed into the stands. They all had to wear masks for a pandemic that wasn't even the 2020 was the dumbest season ever. I'm never going to look at that year and look at anything. Like, I'll look at it for what it was, meaning, and what it was not anything you can compare to a normal year, and that's okay. I think Dodgers fans should be proud of 2020, but I don't think Dodgers fans should look at 2020 as some year that's equal to any other championship in history. So if I'm a Dodger fan, I would be beyond pissed that we haven't won in an actual year like 2019. 2017, that'd be nice to win. Obviously, yeah, Houston cheated that year. It'd be nice to win that year. 2019, they won 106 games, blew it to the Nationals. 2021, 106 games, beat the Giants after losing them to the division of them. You ended up beating them, so it didn't even matter, and then you lost. 2022, you won 111 games. You won 111 games in 2022 and then got dusted by the Padres. You should have won that year. Last year, 100 more games to get swept by the Diamondbacks, who you were really good against at home. You dominated against at home. You lost both games. Go to Arizona. You get dusted out of the postseason again. Why don't you win one of those years? So that's like, as a Dodger, as me seeing myself as a Dodgers fan, if I was a Dodgers fan, that's how I would think. I don't like 2020 would be a little cooler if the Dodgers had won in 2017 or 2019 or 2022 or something, but they haven't. That's all they have. So then I can't look at 2020 and be like, oh yeah, that's, I will say, Shadow, if you're a Giants fan, I will say in the end, it didn't even matter. Like, yeah, you won the division, but the fact that you ended up just doing all that just to lose in the NLDS to the Dodgers in the end, like, I always say the Dodgers have basically won 11 straight division titles. They basically won the division in 2021. I mean, they lost by a single game, and they ended up beating the team that beat them by a game in the playoffs anyway. So they ended up being the last team standing in that division in the end. So it didn't even matter, you know? So yeah, it sucks, but I really wanted the Giants to win that year, but yeah. They didn't get the ring, that is true, obviously. But still, they ended up overlasting the Giants. So I don't really, it was still an amazing run by the Giants. Don't get me wrong. It was fun, but we got to get back to that next year for sure. Giants got to get back on track. 3 straight years now of just mid after amazing. It's weird. No, I don't want to see those guys get their first ring because that would mean the Yankees as an organization get a ring, and I don't like the Yankees. So, yeah, no. I would like to see Jazz Chisholm get a ring. Love that guy. Same with Juan Soto, just not with the Yankees. So, yeah, if they're anywhere else, hell yeah. Yankees, no. I do want to see them play in the playoffs. It'll be fun, but I don't want to see them win at all. My favorite NL so the NL is a lot more. So here's like the way I look at the AL. I'll start with the AL because the AL, I don't either team or I'm indifferent. And then there's Cleveland. So Cleveland, I figured out is like the team I would like to see the most go to the World Series from the American League. The Yankees in Houston, I don't want to see go far. And then as of Detroit, Kansas City, and Orioles, I don't really I like those. I don't really mind any of those teams. So if Detroit made a run, cool. If Royals made a run, cool. If Baltimore made a run, awesome. Great. Yay. I'm not as passionate. But I'm very passionate that I hope Houston and Yankees lose, and I'm very passionate about Cleveland winning. I like Cleveland. So but for the NL, there's one team that I don't want to see, and it's the Phillies. Everyone else, anyone but the Phillies, but obviously there are teams that I think would be more fun, like that I'm more invested in. The Dodgers, I think it sucks that they don't have Glass now, and they're all banged up on the pitching. That definitely makes it a lot more, exciting to root for them. But I mean, you still got Shohei, you still got Mookie freaking Betts, you still got a lot of great guys on that team. So, they're still the best team in baseball, finished with the best record. So I think they're, I hope that I like the Dodgers. I like the Padres. I like the Brewers. I basically like everyone. Man, there's only because there's two teams in the AL I don't want to see win, and there's one team in the NL. So other than the Phillies for the NL, I guess I would kind of look at it in a sense where like what matchup would be the best, like what would be juiciest, right? So like Dodgers Padres rematch, that would be fun to watch. Do I want to see that because I want to see the Padres beat the Mets so bad because I hate the Mets? No, but I would just like to see the Padres play the Dodgers. That'd be a fun rematch from a few years ago. Darth Plagueis the Wise. Damn, what do you have against? Hey, thank you, Sober Living. I hope you're I don't know if your name actually has anything to do with you personally, but thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. For real. I mean, everyone, you guys say thank you, but I should be thanking you all the time because I'm not able to do what I do, live the life that I live, and live the life I'm gonna be living without you guys. So, you know, for real, thank you. You guys are, I mean, you're literally what makes this channel. Um, so yeah, I mean, I guess it would just be in terms of like matchups. Like, what would be the most fun matchup? It wouldn't be about like what team I don't want to see move on. So like, I'd want to see, like I said, Dodgers Padres because it'd be a fun matchup, not because I want to see the team who plays the Padres lose. Say the D-backs play the Brewers. I think I would like to see the D-backs play the Phillies again, not because I want to see the D-backs beat the Brewers because I hate the Brewers, just because I think that matchup would be more fun. It'd be like a rematch, you know. So yeah, that's kind of that, my take on it. Yeah, I haven't. Okay, so I haven't talked about my beef with the Phillies yet. I talked about Houston. I went into all that. I'm tired of them. They weren't fun this year. They only won the division because the rest of the division sucked. And it was just like boring. Okay, I don't care. I don't have any, and I can't back that, so I don't care. Um, I might, I might bring MLB Chaos back for the postseason. I feel like I should do MLB Chaos for certain. I think I figured out that I should do MLB Chaos for certain games, like key moments in games, key games, rather than just like a random regular season day. Um, yeah, I think I'll do that. I might. Yeah, I mean, either way, I guess like for let's say game 2 of a series, right? I might do a chaos video, and then when the series is over, I'll do like a whole, um, like recap of everything and talk about who won, why they won, the team that lost, or maybe I'll make a video about whoever lost. I'll make a video about them because like their season's over. So if like the Dodgers lose or something, I'll make a video about the Dodgers overall, like their whole storyline. But in the middle of the series, I'll make like a recap videos of like the series, like game 2 MLB Chaos video. Yeah, I mean, you know what's fun? I'm actually gonna definitely be doing. It's always fun to know that like I'm definitely gonna be doing like the cancel videos because there's only one team that can win the World Series. So we're guaranteed to either have, because the teams that I would have canceled would be the Dodgers, the Phillies, maybe I can't say the Astros because they're not, they've won. It's not like, you know, there's really nothing to cancel about them, or the Yankees. So like the Yankees, Dodgers, Phillies, those are the 3 teams. Yeah, those are the 3 teams that I would have canceled if they lose. Because everyone else is like, they lose, they're not cancelable necessarily. It just, you know. But like the Dodgers, Phillies, Yankees, those are teams that are like supposed to win, quote unquote. So if they lose one, there's only one of them that can come out on top. So I'm definitely going to be making at least 2 canceled videos, if not 3. And then, hell yeah, Madala, Captain Rex in the building. Hell yeah, that'd be fun. Indians Brewers World Series, that'd be interesting. Definitely wouldn't be like a ratings killer, but it would definitely be it'd be fun. So yeah, the cancel videos will be fun. But yeah, so I'll yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited for the playoffs. I love there's a lot of fun videos that will be coming your way. For sure. So yeah, there's gonna be at least two canceled videos, if not three. I'll probably do some like recap videos, aka chaos videos, for games that are in the middle of like a series. And then yeah. So it'll be fun. I'm excited. And I'm definitely gonna be doing a video tomorrow. I'm gonna be doing a video. I guess it would be Tuesday's video, and it would be about whoever missed on tomorrow. So it'll be a Braves, Mets, or D-backs video. I'm talking about how they weren't able, whatever their storyline is for not making it. For the D-backs, it'd be choking. I'll get to the Phillies beef in a second, but for the D-backs, it'd be because they choked. Mets, it would be because they just didn't have enough. Braves, same, but for different reasons because the Braves are so injured. Mets, wouldn't have enough because they just didn't have enough. They ran out of steam. Padres, so yeah, Arizona. If they don't make it, I'll have a video on them, how they choked on Tuesday. Tomorrow though, what do you guys? Okay, let me ask you really quick. I'm gonna get into my beef with the Phillies in a second. What do you guys think my video should be tomorrow? What do you think my video should be tomorrow? Because we still have things like it would have to be a team that has nothing to do with what's going on, or a player or something. Mets. Well, I would have to. I'll make a video on the Mets if they miss the playoffs, or if they clinch. Either or, I'll probably make a Mets video, but I can't yet because we don't know if they've made it or missed yet. And you know what I'm going to talk about. White Sox, yeah, maybe. It's funny because the White Sox ended up winning back-to-back games to end the year. Thank you to everyone who's here now, by the way. This is my second channel. I never go live on here, and it started out with 10 viewers, and now we've had over like 40 viewers for a while. So thank you for real, everyone in here. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. To this channel, to the iTalk Studios live channel, and also go follow my Twitch that I wasn't able to go live on for some reason. I don't know why it wasn't working. Let me actually see what that was about. Yeah, for some reason I can't go live on Twitch right now. I was trying to go live on both platforms, but I couldn't. So, so yeah. Go follow my Twitch if you have Twitch. Go to the iTalk Studios on Twitch. I'll come up, click the follow button, and I'll love you forever. And also, of course, subscribe here. At least subscribe here. If you don't have Twitch, then unless you wanted to make a Twitch, it's up to you. But the Marlins, I feel like a Marlins video would come a little later. Like I feel like right now I should be making videos and talking about what's really hot, really going on. I definitely probably will make a Marlins video, but just not right now. Okay, so here's my beef with the Phillies. A loss. Should I make a video on the lawsuit? Maybe I should. Maybe that'll be that might be tomorrow's video because it's just a stupid lawsuit. It really is. It's a dumb lawsuit, at least from what I feel right now. I'm gonna have to look into it and for the video, but I'll definitely. Maybe that'll be tomorrow's video because we don't know what's gonna happen yet. So for the Mets, D-backs, or Braves, so I'll hold off on any of those teams, and then Rays I feel high on, but anyway, okay. So the Phillies, my beef with them, it's not really that deep. I feel like it's been like this is like a very we've been really like hyping this up. It's not anything deep. It really is just as simple as I don't care for them that much, and I'm kind of tired of them. It's weird. Like there's certain teams ever since I started watching baseball that by the way, really quick, Iron Swan, how did the kid file a lawsuit? Was it his parents? Anyway, ever since I started liking baseball, there's certain things about the way I feel where it's just like automatically there's certain teams that I just latch onto more than others. And certain teams that I don't like. And I can't really even explain it. But the Phillies are one of the teams that I don't really care for that much. And so like I don't know, like before it was cool to hate Houston, I hated Houston, believe it or not. I don't know what you guys think, but before I don't know what, like if you guys believe that, but before 2017, well, before 2019, 2020, that's when we knew Houston was cheating. I didn't like Houston. I didn't want them to win. I always preferred the Rangers. When it came to the Texas teams. I can't explain why. Even when Houston was an underdog in 2015, when they won 88 games and snuck into the wild card, I just never really loved Houston. I always just preferred the Rangers. I always just kind of like seeing them win. I don't really know for sure why. But it's just always been a thing for me. And then of course the cheating happened and that makes it even worse. But even before that, I just never really cared for Houston. No explanation. Just, you know. And then for the Phillies, so the Phillies are one of those teams that I've just never really cared for that much. Like I would say in the NL East, the teams that I like seeing win are it had to be his parents. Was that kid 18? It looked like he might have been like 12, or I didn't really see the video that closely. Anyway, so in the NL East, I like the Nationals and I like the Braves. I have no freaking idea why. I've just always been cool with those teams winning. I've never looked at the Braves, never looked at the Nationals, been like, I don't really, screw them. No, I've always liked seeing them win. I've never minded them. The Mets and the Phillies, I don't know. There's just something about those teams I've never really loved. I've never really latched on to. An interesting one. The NL, and so okay, to sum up the Phillies thing, it's kind of like that. For some reason, I've never really like cared for the Phillies. I've never, like even though I'm a Red Sox fan, like even if you're a fan of a team, there's still other teams that you like to see win, right? Like Oakland. I've always liked to see Oakland. I have no ties to Oakland whatsoever. Nobody I know likes them. I'm not at all near from that area, but I like them. I've always latched onto them. So we all have that, right? And then we all have the team that we just don't like. But for me, I really don't have a reason. I just never really cared for the Phillies. So there's that, and then there's the fact that the Phillies just keep winning, and I'm just kind of tired of them. And I think it was kind of annoying that, like, I like the Braves already, right? And then they have Acuna, and they have all these fun players, and then just to lose to the Phillies. And the Phillies are just a bunch of like veteran softball drunk. That's like the vibe I get from the Phillies, and it annoys me. Like Brandon Marsh, Nick Castellanos. Those guys just annoy me. I don't know. I just don't like their vibe. I don't like it. They act too hard ass. They like to act like Castellanos like seems like he acts too much like a hard ass. He acts too much like I'm too cool to smile and never be like personable, and I hate that. And I actually liked him when he was on Cincinnati. So maybe it's the reason like, this Phillies thing is just too big. Anyone on the Phillies I just don't like as much. But um, I don't. Yeah, I don't really like the Phillies in general. I've never really cared for them. And then you add some of the players like Castellanos and Marsh, and I'm just like, I don't like those guys. I don't really have get a good vibe from them. And I see the Braves, and I see Acuna, and I see Orlando Arcia, and I see Riley, and I see Olsen, and I see Iglesias, and pointing up to the sky. I don't know. I just get a good vibe from the Braves. Like the Braves just give off a good like. The Braves to me are like the young kids having fun on the playground, who are just insanely good at baseball, but they're just like the fun, like having fun on the playground together. And then the Phillies are just like to me seem like a bunch of drunk softball dads who are just complete idiots who don't even know what 2+2 is, but they just somehow find ways to beat the freaking team. So the Braves. So it's like, I don't know. I think it's just a combination of I'm kind of tired of the Phillies. I've never liked the Phillies really to begin with. And not that I hated them, I just didn't really care for them at all. I'm tired of seeing them win, especially since they've been beating the Braves every year. It annoys me. And then some of the players on their team just rub me the wrong way. I don't really like Marsh and Castellanos especially. They just give me a weird vibe. I don't like them. Harper. I've always liked him. I've never really have anything bad to say about Harper. I mean, what can you say? I mean, at 16, he was being held. Baseball's LeBron. He's lived up to the hype. He's amazing. What more can you ask? He's matured. He was kind of like a little immature when he was younger, as we all are. But he's matured. He's like a leader now, so good for him. But everyone else, the other guys on the Phillies, I just don't care for. So that's kind of my Phillies thing. I've never cared for the Phillies. I've never really liked them. The players they have now are just annoying. I'd rather see the Braves win another championship. I like their players better. They're more fun. They're more fun, to watch. And then, he's not baseball's LeBron, but you get the point. He was hailed as like the best. He was as amazing, and he hasn't really lived. He's lived up to the expectations, is what I'm saying. He couldn't have been hailed anymore of like hyped up anymore, and he lived up to it. He didn't fold. Didn't become a bust. He's worth every penny he's making. He's amazing. But yeah. And then as far as so the Phillies, I don't really love them. That's just kind of my beef with them. If I hope I explained it well. But it goes for other teams too. Like for example, like the Cubs. I can't explain it. I've just never really been a fan of the Cubs. I've never really cared for them. I've always preferred the Brewers. I've always preferred the Reds, the Pirates, the Cardinals, kind of. I kind of like the Cardinals. The Cubs are just a team I've never really, I feel like now I'm a little softer on the Cubs, but I just remember like in 2016 when they were good, they were the underdogs, and I still didn't really care to see them. I mean, they weren't underdogs that year. They were really good, but you get what I'm saying. Like they were in that, World Series drought, the curse. And I still like it was like a thing to root for them. It was like, you gotta, back the Cubs, And I never really had that feeling for them. I just didn't really care to see them win. I wanted Cleveland to win in 2016. I was so sad when they didn't. So I don't know. I can't really explain that either. But I've never really been in the Cubs. Now, again, like I just said, I think now it's a little. I've softened that a little bit. Like I love some of their players. I love Imanaga. I love Seiya Suzuki, Dansby Swanson. He's a solid player. But I've just never been like, yeah, I like the Cubs. I don't know. The Mets are another team I've never loved. Even though I actually did want to see them beat the Royals. Looking back, I'm happy they didn't. But in the moment, I actually remember wanting to see them beat the Royals. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't really want to see the Royals win the World Series in those years. I rooted for the Giants in 2014. Fun fact, 2014 was my second year watching baseball, and I wanted them to beat, and I was like, again, there's really not much explanation to this stuff. I just have a certain feeling and I run with it. And I was just automatically like all in on the Giants. I was like, let's go Giants. Beat the freaking Royals. Hell yeah, let's go. And they did. I'll never forget watching Madison Bumgarner in Game 7. I mean, that was just unbelievable. That was one of the most, yeah, that was pretty wild. I'll never forget it. Just sitting there, sitting in my living room, in the living room of the house I was in at the time as a little kid, and just being like, just in awe, because you kept expecting the Royals to do something and they just didn't do anything. And then the triple in the end, and then all just for Bumgarner, just keep his composure, get Perez to pop up. I was like, oh my God, that was insane. That was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. But the Giants I've always liked. Everyone in the NL West I like. Giants, Dodgers, Padres, D-backs, even the Rockies. Rockies I just don't like because they're just annoying. You don't even realize they're there half the time. But when you think about the Rockies, yeah, I mean, there's not much to hate about them. But yeah, like the Cubs never loved. Royals I don't really know why, but I didn't really want to see them win. I'm happy they did win now. Yeah, I did miss the 2011 collapse. I was a couple years too late for that, which thank God. Let's be real. I'm happy I didn't get to see that. Yeah, I started watching in 2013. I went right in thinking, yeah, my team's supposed to win every year. Yeah, but so yeah, that's kind of my story with that. There's just certain teams I just like naturally, just get a gravitation toward, and other teams I just have a gravitation like opposite toward. I just don't. Let's see, the NL Central, or the AL Central, the Twins, Guardians, White Sox. Who are the other two teams? Royals, and then freaking Tigers. I've never loved the Tigers. I've never loved the White Sox. I'd say the White Sox were the team I cared about least. I think is a better way of putting it, by the way, cared. Like, I'm not saying I hate the Mets or I hate I don't really like the Phillies at this point, but I wouldn't say I hate the Mets or I hate the Cubs or I hate the Royals. I just like over the years, I haven't really cared much to see them win. I've preferred other teams to win over them. I've preferred other teams to beat them when they're playing other teams in the playoffs, stuff like that. But I wouldn't say I hate those teams. But for the AL Central, like for example, the White Sox, I've always just cared about them the least, and I never really cared to see them win. And then I would say it's the Tigers. Like I remember in 2014, well, the Tigers actually, I mean, it's pretty wild actually now that I think of it. But the Tigers haven't. It's crazy that I've only seen the Tigers make the playoffs 2 times, and the times I've been watching baseball. I started watching baseball in 2013, and the Tigers were like one of the best teams. And then 2014 came, they were one of the best teams again. And then 2015 was disappointing, and then since then they haven't made it. So that's crazy, actually. Wow. I don't even remember, because I remember always thinking, but I always remember thinking like when the Tigers were really shit, like in 2018 or 20, like in the middle, like they've been rebuilding for years, right? And they've been horrible. And I never really cared for the Tigers though. Like I never looked at the Tigers and were like, gee, I cannot wait to see them win again. Like I never thought that. Like there's certain teams I do think that about, like the Pirates. Every year, I am pulling for the Pirates to win. I want the Pirates to make the playoffs so freaking bad, and they never do. And so, like a team like that, I do care when they suck. I'm like, what the hell? But when the Tigers were sucking for the last 10 years before now, I never looked at them and were like, man, I cannot wait to see Comerica Park filled up and rowdy again. I just never thought that. Now that it's happening, I think it's cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm happy for Detroit. I think it'll be fun if we get playoff games there. But I was never like, oh man, I hate this sucks. I'd like to see the Tigers back in the playoffs, and I hate that they're losing. I just didn't care. I didn't want them to lose. I wasn't like sitting there like, hell yeah, another year of misery for Detroit. I didn't think that, but it was more so like I saw the Tigers losing 100 games again, and I just looked and was like, all right, whatever, and then I moved on. Whereas like the Pirates, I look at them losing, and then I'm like, that sucks. I want to see them go. I've always liked the Pirates. So, yeah, I don't know. So the White Sox, Tigers, I never cared as much for. The Twins, I've been very indifferent on. I like the Twins a little more lately, but I'm still indifferent on them. I think Cleveland is the team I like the most in that division. I've always liked Cleveland. I've just always liked them. I don't know. I like Cleveland. Oakland was my team in the AL West. They've been taken from me now. I could give less of a crap about Sacramento, Vegas, wherever the frick A's. Houston, I never like. Ranger. No, okay. Well, the Rangers, I like them. They're my new team in the AL West. I always liked Oakland, and then the Rangers were like, it was like Oakland, and then the Rangers were like a little behind them in terms of who I like the best in that division. It was always that. Oakland, a little bit below Texas, pretty significant margin, and then it was like Seattle and the Angels tied for who I'd want to see. I would put the Mariners above because I always wanted to see the Mariners make it. I thought it was cool when they made it a couple years ago. And then the Angels fourth, a little below Mariners, and way down in Houston. I never wanted to see Houston win, even before the cheating. I hated the Astros before it was cool to hate the Astros. Man, we got in I just went on a whole tangent about what teams I don't like, why. Is there anyone else interested in what other divisions? What I think about other divisions? Let's see. What division have I not talked about yet? I can't talk about the AL East because that's obvious. Because I'm a Red Sox fan. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I always liked Adrian Beltre though. Like it started with that, and I do love Marcus Semien, and yeah, they might not be like the most flamboyant team, but I like them. I think they're cool. I like just like their vibe. Okay, let's do NL Central. Well, I didn't go deep into that though. Okay. NL Central, the Cubs, I would say the team I like the most in the Central, it's probably between the Brewers and the Pirates. I'm going to put the Brewers at the top just because they've been more fun to watch for obvious reasons because they actually know how to win. But I would like to see the Pirates win. So I would say Brewers I like the best, then Pirates, then Reds, then Cardinals, then Cubs. I would say that's the order I like. Ohtani is a fraud. And I'm a woman. Is that what you want? Let's see. Let's go to another division. I already said I like everybody in the NL West, which is like actually true. I really don't have a preference. It's pretty weird. Like if the Dodgers played the Padres, I would be cool with either one winning. I might just want the Dodgers only because I think it'd be cool to see Shohei go as far as possible. But you know, I wouldn't hate to see. I love Tatis. I love the Padres. I like them. They're fun. Okay, what's another division? I think we talked about all the NL East. Did we talk about that? I think we did. Let's talk about the NL East. Okay. Nationals, I do like. I think I mentioned Nationals before you were here. So in the NL East, the Marlins are the most indifferent. The Marlins suck. I don't really care. The Marlins are great. I think it's kind of cool. But the teams I like the most in that division are the Nationals and Braves. I was so happy when the Nationals won in 2019. And I was so happy when the Braves won in 2021. They both beat Houston. That's pretty. I didn't even. So that was cool. I like those teams a lot. I like those franchises a lot. I want to see them win. Mets and Phillies, I've never cared for. Like but, but obviously, I'm not. Um, if you've been listening to this stream, you know I'm not a big Philly guy. So if the Mets did play the Phillies, I would be rooting for the Mets, even though I don't really care for the Mets. The Mets have won me over. I'll be honest with you; they've won me over a little bit. I don't like them nearly as much as I do the Nationals or the Braves, but you know what? I can get behind the Mets. They're fun. They're a fun little story. So if they make it, I'll. I don't like the Phillies. I don't. Okay, if you guys didn't know, I like Nationals, Braves. I don't want the Phillies. I don't like the Phillies. I haven't said it enough. You said, oh shoot, oh my god. So if you guys haven't heard me yet, I don't like the Phillies, and I don't want to see them. If you haven't gotten the point yet. All right, let's go to another division. AL. Well, I guess that covers it. All right, I guess we'll do the AL East just because I do have preferences in there. It was just because I'm a Red Sox fan, so obviously, Red Sox, they're my team, so I'm not even gonna count them. But let's see AL East. Okay, so out of the Orioles, Yankees, Blue Jays, and Rays, I would say it's varied. Like I think at times I've hated the Orioles more, I've hated the Rays more. But I would say now, obviously the Yankees I like the least because they're freaking Yankees. It's kind of in my DNA at this point to not like them. Even if I wanted to, I can't. My body wouldn't let me. Because if there was any year where a Red Sox fan like me, if there was any year where me, who was a Red Sox fan, would root for the Yankees, it'd be this year because they have Soto and Jazz. I love those freaking guys, and Judge is fun to watch at Homer. So like, but I'm still not gonna root for them. If I was a fan of like the Brewers or something, if the Brewers didn't go all the way, I'd be like, yeah, I think it'd be cool to see the Yankees. But I'm a Red Sox fan, so I can't. Um. So let's see. I would say right now, I'd say the Rays are number one, then the Orioles, then Blue Jays, then Yankees. Those are the four. I would say the Rays are number one because the Rays are just an interesting, fun little. It's cool. Yeah, it does. It does suck. It's cool when like they're really smart. They know what they're doing. They've proven they can win. It's fun. I like them, and like this year was like a rebuilding year kind of, and they still and they have so many injuries. Like I think the Rays are going to be good next year again. So like I think they're totally fine, even though they missed this year because they didn't suck at all. They were still decent enough. And next year they're getting all their pitchers back, and so they should be good. The Orioles, I like the Orioles right now because there's really not much to hate about them. I think they're just cool. I like Gunnar Henderson. Yeah, they're not. They obviously kind of cooled off in the end, but there's not much to hate about them. And then the Blue Jays, I could care less about. I don't really care about the Blue Jays. They're good. I'd care a little more. I like Vladdy Jr., but they're not good this year, so don't care about them. And then the Yankees, for obvious reasons, I don't like. So it's not. I feel like that's not even. Bro, that is so true. And that's the issue, though. This is an issue because the Yankees and rivalry is so generic and forced because it's not really as fun now. It's not as it's not as real, right? I mean, these guys don't really hate each other, which is the whole point of a freaking rivalry. If Aaron Judge is best friends with, the Red Sox players, which is, I mean, I don't know if that's the case, but like if he is, it's like, okay, I don't really, how am I going to hate this? I'm not supposed to hate this. So I feel like the Red Sox and Yankees rivalry, there's been moments over the years where it's been kind of a rivalry, but overall, all the Red Sox. What were your Blue Jays comments? I must have missed that. Um, but all the Red Sox Yankees rivalry is just going off of the fact that it used to be the biggest rivalry. It's just like a historic thing at this point. I mean, there's no actual like in real time rivalry. It just yeah. So it's very generic. It does feel forced. It's like, oh, you have to hate the other team because it sucks. It really does. Because if but I just obviously I cannot want the Yankees to win the World Series, but I really wish I could root for Juan Soto and Jazz Chisholm because I like those guys a lot, but I can't. So what the hell? What's up, November Onion? How are you doing? How is everyone, by the way? I hope you guys have enjoyed my rambling. I hope you guys aren't annoyed, wanting me to shut up. But I guess the whole point you're here is to hear at least somebody talk. So, just scroll up. That's too much work, though. I'm just kidding. Hold on. I'm pretty bad writing a college paper. What's your college paper about? And what year are you in college? But yeah, no, for real, I don't know. CPT Jock Kitch. Very valid comment. I thought that was valid. Oh, 2020. Oh, yeah, the whole trailer to the movie thing. Yeah. 2021 was the trailer. 2022 was the horrible movie. 2023 was the bad direct TV sequel, DVD sequel. 2024 is the canceled live act. That's so facts. 2024 was like that was them canceling. They canceled the sequel. I think the Yankees are going to play the Phillies in the World Series. That's my like logical prediction. My what I want as a fan though would be Cleveland and I guess the Dodgers. That's what I would want because I don't want to see the Phillies, Yankees, or Houston do anything. So if it was teams that I would prefer, I definitely want to see Cleveland, and then the Dodgers would be cool. I'd like to see Shohei in the World Series, but I wouldn't mind the Padres or the Brewers or anyone else other than the Phillies. Anyone but the Phillies. If you guys didn't know, I don't want the Phillies. You're a high school senior doing dual. Okay, so you're a smart guy, smart person. Mental health in students. Hey, mental health is important. It's very important. I'm glad you brought that up. For real. Anyone in this chat right now, like mental health is a real thing. There's never anyone in this world who has it all together. Everyone's going through shit. No matter how much money anyone has or how anyone, everyone is going through shit. So for real, like if you're not alone, I'm sure you have tough days. Whoever you are out there, you have tough days. You're, feel horrible. You're sad. You're angry. Everyone goes through it. So if you feel like you need someone to talk to, get someone to talk to because, you're not alone. And I mean, the big ending life epidemic. I don't know if I should say the word, but it's real. It's horrible. So for real, like if you need help, talk to people. There's always someone willing to talk. Because and again, for real, like I know this is a very different thing from what I was just talking about. But just a side note, I just thought it was important to talk about because we got our smart senior in high school is doing college, getting college credits. Who brought it up? So thank you for that. But yeah, no, it's horrible. It's actually horrible. Like it's not even a joke. It's a real issue. People are literally, they're killing each other. They're killing themselves, and it's horrible. I know the world today with social media doesn't make things any better in that way. I think social media, just like anything, just like most things, is a blessing and a curse. Um, and one of the curses is, I think it inflates mental health issues. And, like you'll go on Instagram and you see these people and they look like they're the happiest people in the world. It makes you depressed. And in reality, that person's not that happy. It's a picture they took on a vacation. It's a screen. It's in one capture of a moment, but they're probably as depressed as you are, for real. So, and it's not good. It's not good for anyone to be depressed. So that's why it's like, just, I think it's an important thing to know that you're not alone, that there are other people also dealing with shit. Everyone in the world deals with shit because we're not God. We're not, I don't know what, religion. I mean, I'm sure most of you are Christian or whatever, but if you're not, I don't know what whatever, but you're not God. You're not, none of us are God. None of us are a higher being. We're all human beings. So we're going to have issues. So, don't be afraid to like freaking talk to someone, get a therapist, talk to your parents, talk to your grandparents, whoever you think could, is a good person, friends, whoever, to, because I think that's, I think we always, obviously it's like almost election season. Everyone's all Trump or Kamala or freaking Democrat, Republican. Look, at the end of the day, what matters most is you individually and how you treat the people around you, how you treat your neighbors, how you treat your housekeeper, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister. That's what matters most. Because for real, like a society, a functioning society, whether it's America or whatever, is all about you in your community and the people around you in your community. It's not about, whoever the fuck you're going to vote for. I mean, okay, yeah, okay. Voting is important, and vote for who you want to vote for. It's very important. But at the end of the day, Trump or Kamala Harris are not going to hold your hand where you want to be in life. You have to get up and do something about it. And you have to uplift everyone else around you. And obviously, it's not easy because, it's not going to be fixed overnight. Nothing like this ever will. Nothing this complex ever will. But think about it. I mean, crime, right? Criminals, people who kill other people who assault people, who break into homes, who set things on fire. Where does that begin? Where does that begin? It begins in the home. It begins when you don't have functioning parents in a functioning household, and neighbors around you, people who looked at you and said that you matter, told you that you're worth more in life than just being a stupid little criminal, right? That's where it begins, So it's like voting for a person is, again, for the ideals that you want to vote for. And it's important. It's very important. If you're old enough to vote, definitely vote. I have my opinions. I'm not going to talk about those opinions because it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, just be a good person. That's all that matters. But I think it's mostly about, what you do for yourself mentally and physically and for everyone around you. That's where it begins. It's not that simple, obviously, in a perfect world. But in a perfect world, I guess the whole thing I'm talking about is if imagine if every single person in just America, let's just say America, was good to themselves, they respected themselves, they ate well, they treated themselves well, they didn't let people disrespect them, and they treated that same way they treat everybody else. Respected themselves and they respected everybody else. And they took, whether it was their little brother or sister, little, their cousin or their neighbor or their mom or dad or housekeeper, it starts with that. It doesn't, because I think like a lot of times people look too outward. It's like, oh, what about the starving children in Africa? What the hell are you going to do about that? You can't. So what you have to do is just do what you can do, which is in your circle. It starts with that. And if everyone in the world had that mentality, which again, it's not that simple. And that's why I could talk all day about this. It's not going to change anything or, but I think it's just important to look at it in that way and look at it like instead of, I think giving money to charity, yeah, it's very important. But I think the biggest charity you can do is to help those around you. And if everyone around you does that, then the world would be a better place. Any community, any functioning society, that's how it works. It starts with a good family life, home, and by the way, these streams are actually not even supposed to just be baseball. Yeah, it's gonna be baseball a lot, but I think conversations like this are cool to have for sure. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Because, like, obviously, baseball is my number one passion, and I'm sure it is for most of you. And I'm always going to love it and talk about it. But I do think it's, cool to talk about like more personal things sometimes too. And we could save that for like streams like this. Um, like, say there were like 10,000 people in a stream and we're talking, it's a postseason prediction stream. Yeah, okay, we'll talk about postseason predictions. But it's a smaller stream, it's a more intimate vibe, at least right now, right? Because I barely ever streams. So honest to God, again, thank you to every single freaking one of you who are in here right now. It means a lot because I don't ever stream enough. I should stream a lot more, but I don't. So thank you for being here. But yeah, I think stuff like this we could definitely talk about anything, literally anything. And it all it all relates to baseball. Baseball is a very life. Baseball, I think, is the part of the reason, the endless reasons I love it is because it's the most, it's the most it's the most accurate metaphor to life. It's such a, you know, yeah, very true. This is a good point too. You know, like it's a life is all about balance. At the end of the day, life is all about balance, right? Are you like, if you like yourself too much, that's not good for obvious reasons, right? You're too selfish. But if you like everyone else too much and you don't respect yourself enough, that's not good at all either, for the other total opposite side of the coin. It's all about balance. So you should be respecting of yourself, whether you're a man or a woman. You should respect yourself, treat yourself well, physically and mentally, make sure you're okay. But then, of course, be humble. Don't be cocky. Don't think you're better than anyone, because at the end of the day, you're not. You're a human being. You're not God. Nobody is. Nobody's been, and that's the whole point of being a human being. You're part of something larger than yourself. So, you're not here for yourself. You're here to partly for yourself, but again, the whole balance thing. You're for yourself, but also to help the world. That's the whole point. And like you said up here, people want to help, but they have issues with themselves. Um, that's so true too, because if you have issues with yourselves and you want to help the world, you're not in your best state, so you have to be in a good state and you have to help. And I think it's very, yeah, it's just, it's very interesting. It's very important, right? It's like the whole point of like, it's the same, and balance is the key to life. You can't love something too much and then hate everything because you like the other thing. Like, no, it's not how it is. You know, like, are you supposed to only like white people and every other race sucks? Obviously not. Oh, but I should only like black people. White people suck. Let's kill everyone but black people. Obviously not. No, everyone together. And it's about, obviously, that's like, you don't need to go into a whole race conversation, because at the end, it's not really about that. It's about, just who you are as a person. If you're black and you commit a crime, you should deserve to get in trouble, just like if you're white and commit a crime. It's as simple as that. But, yeah, it's just the balance of life. It's important to treat yourself and others, not just one or the other. You have to, I think respecting yourself is one of the most important things. Look, I can only speak as a man because I'm a man, but for women, it's the same thing, right? You should be respecting yourself. That's where it starts. Because what do you just start with someone else? No, you are yourself. So, you have to just, um, yeah, everything in moderation. You can eat pizza. I ate pizza today. Should I be eating it every day? No, because that'd be too extreme. It's not balanced. You can have candy, not all the time, because you should also be eating healthy stuff. But should you only eat freaking vegetables your whole life? No, should probably eat other stuff too. So it's just everything in moderation. Everything, whether it's food, what you think about people, or whatever, you know. Um, yeah. But so anyway, I appreciate the whole mental health thing that you're doing, because that you're writing about, because it's important. And it's I mean, really, at the end of the day, if you think it's too expensive, right? That's why. I mean, really, at the end of the day, if you think about it, like the biggest issues in life all stem mentally. You know, why do people become criminals? Is it because they're born and they have this thing in their blood that makes that person a criminal? No, it's because they grew up in a house that the dad was beating the mom, or the dad's in jail, the mom's a drug addict, or he didn't get enough love, he got slapped, nobody told him he was more in life than just some thug or whatever. So then that person goes out and becomes a criminal. But if that person had a home life that was better, things would be different. And then that person wouldn't be going out doing criminal activities. Therefore, we wouldn't be having issues that we talk about. Therefore, we'd have a more peaceful community full of people of all backgrounds, ages. Everyone could, you know. And so that's why I think like a home life is so important too. You know, like it's so important to have a good home life. I mean, what school shooter or random gang member on the street ever had a loving mother and father and sister and brother, and you know, a family that was so supportive of? No, right? You know what I mean? Like what freaking horrible person that did horrible things, whether it's some random criminal or, you know, freaking a famous serial killer or whoever. No, it's all the same freaking thing. They had a mom who abused him, or who had drugs, or the dad wasn't even around, or he was, and the mom was around, or whatever. It's some sort of unstable home life. And that's why I think it starts with that. I think and that's why it sucks that we have a lot of divorce nowadays. It's very complicated. But I think if you have a stable home life, I don't need to see statistics on that. I mean, I already know what they're going to say, but I already know immediately that if you have a stable home life, you're not as likely to grow up to be something that's bad for society. You know. So I think another thing is like the media, and I think over time, you know, the political, it's so, you know, it gets so violent now and aggressive, and you can't talk politics with anybody that, you know, disagrees with you. But I think a big thing that like the media and a lot of things have done in recent years is like it's like breaking up families. You know, like if like I think like I said earlier, the number one thing to a functioning society, whether it's America, whether it's China, whether it's Mars, is it is family. That's how it happens. Um that's how it happens in the end, you know. So like I don't care who your dad or your mom or your uncle, or who they, if they vote for someone you don't like, or if they do this, that it's like at the end of the day, if they're not, you know, I don't think you should ever be incentivized, like feel like you should stop talking to your family member just because you don't agree with them on something. Or I mean, you don't have to be best friends with everybody, even your own family, but you shouldn't be um you know, you should not ever have disdain toward family members for stuff like that. And I think it's, you know, it sucks. You know, I think, you know, a lot of the political crap over the years lately, because 50 years ago, I mean, I don't think families were getting broken up over politics. You know, I don't think people were, you know, like people were not fighting and deciding not to talk to each other anymore because they voted for someone else. You know, it wasn't like that. I wasn't around 50 years ago, clearly, but it wasn't like that. Nowadays, you know, families are getting freaking split apart Thank you, Iron Swan. I appreciate. I'm gonna be ending the stream soon anyway. So it's gee, I've been live for almost 2 hours. I didn't even realize that. I saw it when it was like 1 hour, and this has gone by. It's been nice. It's been fun, just like talking to you guys. But yeah, I think family is important. Treating the ones around you is important. Treating yourself is important. So I'll end the stream with that. I had a very fun baseball talk. I'm glad I talked about some of this stuff too. I think streams like this are cool to just talk about whatever. Obviously, baseball will always be a part of it, but um, I think it's good to talk about some other things too, and just because a lot of people may not feel like they have anyone to talk to or anyone listening to them. So go to a stream, whoever it is, whoever the creator is, and talk to them. And if that's me, I appreciate you being here. And yeah, so yeah, love you too, guys. You guys are the best. Ellie, JYT, thank you for being here. You were here like the whole time, I think. Appreciate you. Appreciate everyone who was in here, even if you were here for a minute, 2 hours, whatever. Yeah, hope you guys saw my newest video on the Tigers. If not, go check that out. Tomorrow will be fun day. I'm gonna be watching some baseball. You guys should be too. Braves, Mets. There's a lot on the line. It'll be fun. I might do a video on like the Shohei freaking lawsuit thing, the baseball lawsuit. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Go check out the video if you haven't yet. Stay tuned for more. Thank you for everything, for subscribing, for watching, or doing whatever you've done to support me. Anything is just just being here at all is amazing for any of the videos or anything. I always like to emphasize that, even if you've watched one video or liked one video or whatever. If you're new, if you've been here for 3 years, thank you. You're all part of what's been happening over these years and what's going to continue to happen and grow. No, I'm sneezing. But yeah, I appreciated you. Oh, I hate roller coasters. Hate roller coasters. Haven't been on any of them in a long time, but don't like them. They're scary to me. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming in. Hope to see you in the next stream. And in the next video. I definitely want to do more stuff like this. I hope you guys enjoyed talking to me about whatever, about baseball, about life. It was fun. It was cool. It's chill. And so, yeah, appreciate every single one of you. LEJYTJK, big picture guys. Thank you, everyone. Shadow, everyone. And yeah, big day tomorrow. Let's watch some baseball. Thank you guys for coming in here, and I will talk to you all later. Get some good sleep, get a good night's sleep, have a great start to your week tomorrow, and I'll see you. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.